Gadafi dari startup sales.com, itu dari Malaysia. Dan thank you sudah datang ke Bandung Digital Valley mau sharing sama startup Mikro Incubator dan member di Bandung Digital Valley. Terus oke, topiknya dan materinya kita langsung dengerin aja, semoga bermanfaat buat teman-teman semuanya.
Okay. Hi, my name is gadafi. So here I speak English, right? Okay. It's okay, right?
Can you speak international, please?
This is for you, man. This is for you. Right, so yeah, my name is gadafi. You can call me Kat. Most of people in Indonesia call me Kat. So you can call me gadafi, sir. Or Dafi. Yeah, but don't call me Steve. Those names. Yeah, so as a background, I'm working with SIS Malaysia. I started working like 2 years ago. Actually, I studied engineering. I don't know what happened there. I become a designer after I finished my engineering course. So yeah, I work for 2 years now. Yeah, that's all about me. So basically today I'm going to talk about a topic entitled design faster to a better product. Who knows what does it mean? Give me like, anybody understand what does it mean? What do you think is going to talk about this? Designer? Anyone? How many people are designers here? Reza?
Designer.
A little bit.
A little bit. Half designer. Yeah, so basically, just some practical tips to product design. So actually, that's why I use the word product design there. It's not actually a web design, it's not mobile design. So product design is actually covering all related to web and mobile. So actually, it's not really theoretical introduction, not theory-based presentation. It's mostly like a tips on what I learned from my past experience. So I hope that I can share with you guys so you guys can use the same way of thinking when you guys doing your own product, either it's mobile or web. Right? Okay? If you want me to speak slowly, then let me know. Sometimes I speak very fast. Yeah, so what is it? So basically it's just tips on how to guide your thinking. I know most of you probably went to the UX workshop yesterday, right? Yeah, so that's a very good kind of workshop for the investor. Yeah, so it's good for you to guide your mindset, what kind of thing you have to follow when you want to design your own product. So basically, this is just a few tips that you can also help yourself when you want to think when it comes to designing your own product. And this tip also help hopefully help you to produce a faster output and a better feedback loop. So it's not actually on how to design something very beautiful. It's not aesthetic based. So it's like you can come up with a lot of output, so you can work with your team faster. So when you create a mock-up, for example, you create a prototype, so you can keep asking for feedback from your team members so faster, instead of just you working on the same design for 1 week and then the result is not what actually is supposed to be, right? So it's not about how to make things pretty, because pretty is very subjective. Yeah, so same as the UX workshop yesterday, how actually we guide ourselves when it comes to building a better product. So you have to have this ability to walk in the user shoes, meaning like you think how user think. It's not how you think, because you know everything about your product. You know when you click here what happened, you know what this thing, what's the expectation, right? But for new user, when they open the app, they don't know anything about your product yet. So how you become your user and not become your product owner. So it's not, I know everything, so of course it makes sense, of course it's intuitive. But for user, they don't have that information when they first look at your website or your app. So you have to be a user, not your own product. Right? So see everything in a user point of view. And when you're doing your design, you're doing your mock-up, you have to ask a lot of what-if questions. So I'll go about it later. Right? Okay? Okay. Tip number 1. I think this is something that I've seen a lot of designers do as something is not what they are doing, so it's a disadvantage. So what I would say is you have to use almost real content in your mock or your prototype, because why do you think real content? Who knows what is real content in your mock?
Yes, we can become the real asset.
Yeah, real asset. Yeah, for example, let's say you build a Yeah, give you some example here. Who knows what it is? What is this? Everybody knows what it is? It's not a language that you should understand. So it's a filler text. A lot of people use this in their blog, right? So it's like, oh, it's gonna be a long text here, so they put a lot of episode. But it's not a real content, right? You don't know how long it's gonna be. You don't know is it gonna be like 2 lines, is it 3 lines? So you just assume, user gonna put 3 lines only. You cannot assume that because it's a dynamic content. So when you build a website or an app, all those contents, especially user-generated content, you can upload any kind of picture. So you can put a long title or a short title. So dynamic content like this can break your design if you don't catch it in your blog earlier on. So you have to think about this dynamic content. So that's why I said you use the real content, don't just use any like filler text. If you think that it's going to be short text, you have to see how it looks with short text. You have to see how it looks with longer text. You have to see how it looks with image is dark background, how it looks with image with light background. So this dynamic content, you will break your design if you don't look at it. Yeah, lorem ipsum is pure evil, sort of. If you Google, there's a presentation by Josh Brewer, he's a product designer at Twitter last time. He actually wrote a song about it. Lorem ipsum is fucking evil. So if you want to Google about it, watch his presentation. And then what calling into content bias. I'll give you some example. Yeah, content bias is when your design only looks nice with certain types of content. Because you only have, I'm going to design it to look like this. But the content later might be different, right? User might upload different stuff. So for example, let's say we make a box bar, make a bunch of cards with some information. Let's say this is going to be a thumbnail, the title and some description. This is what you design in your blog. It looks pretty, everything looks very balanced. Everything looks 3 line, all nice. But then when it comes to real content later, it might be shorter. This part can be 1 line. Okay. Yeah, this part might be 4 lines. This part may be longer. So now it's not so pretty anymore, right? So you already define that this is going to be this height because it's going to be 3 lines there. But you don't know is it true in your real content. So you have to think about it when you're designing a mockup, right? Understand? Yeah. So how do you solve it? I mean, I'm not going to give you how to solve it. I mean, you just have to think about this situation. You see, when I say about ask a lot of what if questions. Now you ask, what if the title is short? What if the title is long? So then when you're designing, you ask this question in your mind, then you have to come up with different kind of solution to this kind of scenarios. So all the scenarios you have to consider, right? Another example, let's say you designing this, I don't know what it is, but some kind of view there. And you're imagining user gonna put 4 thumbnails here. You're gonna connect all these 4 different social networks, and you're gonna write about me message. And this is thing, it looks all balanced, it looks all nice. And what if user only upload 3 images? Is this gonna be acceptable for you? How about what if the about is very short? Is this okay to have a lot of white space here? And then what if the user uses a dark background? Is this font visible now? No, right? Yeah, so all this dynamic content, dynamic information might break your layout if you don't think it in the first place. Right? Now, the content break your layout, you're doing it wrong. That's very sad, but you have to deal with it. I have to think about all this scenario. Another example, this example is something I come up with. It's a llama there. Yeah, so for example, I designed this guy. For example, I designed this and I put a very nice background in the back. It looks so nice. And then let's say, I tried this. Wow, it looks so centered with the road centered towards his face. It's so nice. And then what if you actually upload this image? Can you read the title now? Can you read the description now? Not really, right?
You can read the number, that's it. That's how much it costs.
So it's not suitable for this. So how do you solve it? You have to think about all these scenarios. So I guess you guys understand what I mean by dynamic content can break your layout, right? So you have to think about all these what if scenarios. What if the background is white? What if the background is dark? Right? That's tip number 1. Yeah. What if? Keep thinking, keep asking yourself what if. Keep being someone else, not your product, not someone who knows about your product. Think about someone who first time seeing your product. Right? Tips number 2. Any question for now? For tips number one? No.
Maybe we just make the non-dismal app, make the whole apps, not doing for making some mockup.
Yeah, that's true. But when you first designing your app, you start with mockup first. So if you cache all these scenarios into the mockup phase, you wouldn't have wasted. You're not gonna waste a lot of time during the design phase. So also in the design phase, you do the same kind of mindset. Yeah. Then tip number two, consider all possible states. Who knows what the word states here mean? An example of states.
No content state, a lot of content state, just one content state.
That's a good example. Okay, that's all. Yeah, okay. States. This is important because when you have an app, right? So it's gonna be a lot of interaction. It's gonna be a lot of transition. It's gonna be a lot like switching between page and views. So users should know what's going on when they do something, right? Is my post saved when I click button? Is it saved already? Is it still saving? You don't know that. Is my settings updated already? Is it still loading? Is there any error? You don't know. So is my photo uploaded? You should know what to expect. If I click here, will the page refresh? When I'm doing some tutorial, is it the last step or is it still a lot more coming? You don't know. Users should know all this. Why must I not show it? Yeah, you should know what to do. Should I click here? Should I do something here? Should I sign up first to do something? So how do you communicate all these things in your app? So users should have this. You as a designer, you have to consider all these kind of states. What kind of state? Failure state, success state, warning state, loading. You know, when you click a button and then your form is saving in the background, but you don't do anything in the front end. User don't know it is saving, so they keep clicking the button and then it messed up everything. So all these states like loading state, they know. Let them know. Or we are saving your form now. This way, this kind of stuff, right? Save state. Once it's saved, it's saved. Congratulations, save, success. So they are not like worried. Is it saved or not? Is it saved or not? Right? Cool, it's done. And then empty state. Who knows what is empty state? What is empty state?
It is like when the images are not uploaded yet, or perhaps there are no records on the.
Yeah, there's a good example of it. No records to show that it's empty, right? So a lot of apps actually miss this empty state. Empty state can be the first point of contact in your app because especially for apps that have a lot of user-generated content, right? So when they haven't done anything yet, so because there's no record, right? That's what I said. There's no record. It's empty. So it's the first point. But how do we use this empty state? How do we take this advantage to help user to use your app? Yeah, very useful for new user, for onboarding process, for example. Empty state can be commented or actionable. Show you some examples.